We were there with our church for sand volleyball, a bunch of black folks on the west side playing sand volleyball, young and old, with a mutual brotherly love for one another. We must have looked like fish out of water. You have to do this to get people attracted to Jesus. And what that is that you have to be different in the ordinary places. So way back in 2018, a few individuals decided they were going to get together once a week to go and annihilate any and all competition in the realm of sand volleyball. This team was special. When you think about all the great teams, when you think about the 92 U.S. men's basketball team, the Dream Team, when you think of the 1980 U.S. hockey team, the Miracle on Ice team, when you think of the 96 Bulls and their 72 wins plus a championship, Golden State should be up there, but they didn't win a championship, so it's mute. This other team was Peace Baptist Church sand volleyball. Thank you. Every single game was a blowout. We were winning 105-0, even though the games were only the 21. That's how good we were. If you can't tell, I'm lying a little bit. But people like Bridget Ridgway, Tony Bates, and of course yours truly, plus others. But also in that was another great player, and her name was Kristen Jacobs. Kristen wasn't your typical volleyball player because she wasn't a volleyball player. But she had another important role, and that was sitting on the side and talking about Jesus. In her own words for her story, "You think there's a place in heaven for me?" These were the words this old biker guy said to me. He came for wings and beer once a week to this little joint on the west side, and he was alone, rough around the edges, but kind. We were there with our church for sand volleyball, a bunch of black folks on the west side playing sand volleyball, young and old, with a mutual brotherly love for one another. We must have looked like fish out of water. He saw us and wanted to know, who are you guys? How do y'all know each other? I explained that we are a church. I don't really get into the church thing, he said. He offered up his story that he grew up Catholic, went to Catholic schools, and had some horrible experiences with nuns and decided Christianity wasn't for him. I asked him, "Do you believe God exists?" And he told me he thought maybe that there was something, but not really. I asked him how he thought the world came to be, something out of nothing. And so he went into a story about the cosmos and aliens, and so she casually pushed back and shared the gospel with him. And at the end of the day, he said, "Nah, it's not for me." I told him that it was good chatting with him, that at the end of the world, I hope he puts his trust in God, and I will see him in the new heavens and the new earth. And that's when his eyes sparkled, and he said it with like a childlike expectancy, "You think there's a place in heaven for someone like me?" A little taken back, she smiled slowly and told him, "Of course there is. No one is too far or too sinful to be reached by the love of Jesus Christ." They exchanged pleasantries and went about his way, and so she thinks about this often. We spend 40 minutes talking about where he grew up and every roadblock that was made available to him. The belief, the experience with the nuns, the abuse in the Catholic Church, and his concepts of alien inception concerning the cosmos. But at the end of the day, those were smoke and mirrors, and underneath his barrier to belief was a desperation of acceptance. There was a yearning in his voice, a desire for a place. My question to you is this: where are you willing to go and willing to do short of sin to get someone to hear the gospel? I believe simply that if you go be different in ordinary places, people will be attracted to you. Most volleyball teams, everyone looks alike, their friends, their family, and they're usually all in the same age range. But that great Peace Baptist volleyball team was different in an ordinary place. And Kristen used it as an opportunity to talk about Jesus.